Speaker, in mid-December, media reports quoted the Leader of the House announcing that Parliament would be discussing what should follow after the High Court judgment in Mr. Pritam Singh's case. I was waiting to see what resolutions the Leader would ask Parliament to pass. After 3 weeks of anticipation, the motion we are debating today is entitled Expression of Regret at the Conduct of Mr. Pritam Singh and Consideration of His Suitability to Continue as Leader of the Opposition. Sir, I wish to offer my personal views on some of the key resolutions. As I am an interested party in the matter, I stress that these views are my own, and I am not speaking for the Workers' Party in this regard. First, on resolutions number 2 to 4, touching on Mr. Pritam Singh. Parliament had in 2022 referred Mr. Singh and Mr. Faisal Manap to the public prosecutor, who proceeded to prosecute Mr. Singh. After a trial, Mr. Singh was convicted and his appeal was dismissed. He has paid the fine of $14,000. It bears highlighting the differences between the present case involving Mr. Singh and previous instances when MPs have misconducted themselves and had resigned. Mr. Singh's case is unlike the other instances where the MPs themselves admitted their wrongdoings. Mr. Singh has maintained his innocence, contested the charges, and appealed against his conviction. The court has, however, found him guilty, and his conviction has been upheld on appeal. Sir, the motion proposed by the Leader of the House does not just ask this House to express its disapproval, but also seeks to initiate a removal of Mr. Singh as the Leader of the Opposition. Given the different circumstances of Mr. Singh, the question that arises is whether Parliament should subject Mr. Singh to a further punishment by initiating a removal of him from his position as the Leader of the Opposition. Is this necessary? Or is this a political exercise? Sir, earlier some members spoke about how Parliament will be judged. Indeed, when Parliament reopened last September, I spoke about the importance of Parliament as an institution. I pointed out that under the World Justice Project's rule of law rankings, the Singapore Parliament was not faring well in its fundamental task of being an effective check on the executive government's powers. I urged that all of us in this House see each other as fellow Singaporeans who are not enemies but competitors, who had common cause in serving fellow citizens through this House. I emphasize our duty to ensure that this House serve the interests of citizens outside the House. So I believe this motion today does not serve Singaporeans, but is a party political exercise. And I can foresee that our Parliament will slip further down the rule of law rankings on the factor of being able to effectively check government power. This is unhealthy and not in the national interest. So next I move on to Resolution 5 of the motion, which mentions me specifically. Resolution 5 states that the High Court judgment and the Committee of Privileges findings have implications on Mr. Faisal Manap and myself, which have to be considered separately. I must disagree with the linkage between the High Court judgment and my position. Earlier in statements to the media, the Leader of the House had stated that the COP had found that Mr. Singh, Mr. Faisal and I had lied to the committee by denying that we had told Ms. Raisa Khan to hide her untruth in an August 2021 meeting. The Leader then asserted that, and I quote, "The COP's findings have been borne out by the court's judgments," unquote. So Mr. Singh was prosecuted and convicted. On appeal, the court upheld Mr. Singh's conviction. Neither Mr. Faisal nor I participated in the trial. I was interviewed by the police several times in late 2022, and so was Mr. Faisal. My impression was that I might be called as a prosecution witness. Following my interviews with the police and the submission of my written statement to them, I was not called as a witness by the prosecution. The COP in its conclusions had noted that I had voluntarily tendered evidence that was damaging to Mr. Singh. I had spoken about this matter in Parliament on 15 February 2022, when I had explained that the COP had omitted to refer to parts of my evidence given at the COP. I had said that my evidence, if considered as a whole, would not support the COP's conclusions. That was roughly 8 months before I was interviewed by the police. So, having read the appeal judgment, I note that there are several references to me, but these are based on the evidence that was placed before the court by the prosecution. As the prosecution was solely against Mr. Singh, and Mr. Faisal and I were not called as witnesses by either party, we had no opportunity to present our side of the story to the court. The court's findings cannot be held against us. The leader, a senior counsel with decades of litigation experience, will no doubt be aware of what I had just said. So now I move on to the next steps. Parliament had already decided to refer Mr. Singh and Mr. Faisal to the public prosecutor. The matter was no doubt fully and thoroughly investigated. Mr. Singh was prosecuted and eventually convicted, while the prosecution decided not to charge Mr. Faisal, but to issue him with an advisory. The advisory was to advise Mr. Faisal to familiarise himself with the conduct expected of members of Parliament under the Parliament Privileges, Immunities and Powers Act, or PIPA, and advising him to refrain from any act that may be in breach of it. Thus, the referral to the public prosecutor had reached its conclusion. For the reasons I've just explained, if there are any further steps that Parliament wishes to take against me, it must be based solely on the COP's conclusions and in accordance with PIPA. I state once again that I disagree with the COP's conclusions. Resolution 5 states that the matters regarding Mr. Faisal and myself have to be considered separately. I must say that this is very vague. Would the leader be so kind as to elaborate on what is meant and how long we would need to wait for this to be addressed? If Parliament wishes to take any further steps against me and Mr. Faisal, will we be given an opportunity to address Parliament before it proceeds to do so? Sir, before I end, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to Singaporeans for the support that they have given to the Workers' Party, especially in the past few weeks. We have received emails and letters of encouragement. Many Singaporeans have also approached us individually in hawker centres and malls to voice their concerns over this debate. They have advised us to take good care of ourselves and at the same time emphasized how important it was for us to continue our work. Sir, we in the Workers' Party are truly humbled by this outpouring of support from the public. We will continue our work and strive to do even better for them.